Good evening. Already, I think many of us are exhausted by the too long lectures, I know. But I think the content for the fellows it is important. And that's why I kept many topics. And my topic is covered by almost most of the speakers who delivered before my talk. That's why it contains a combination of some of the things. Like something, what new things we are doing in CTO PCI. Somebody wants to do a slender systems, the radial operators. Most of us are radial operators. And if we can do a CTO PCI radial, it's always good. Practically speaking, in real world, we're happy with the femoral approach. Even though our center does 99% radial work, as far as CTO is concerned, we are femoral operators. There is no doubt in it because of the multiple devices. But this is one sheethless guide because the outer diameter is equal to very smaller sheath introducer. This can be used in cases where CTOs are accessible with simple, not very complicated things, not many multiple devices used. You can use this sheethless guide for the CTO PCI through radial, because the vascular complications we can minimize. That's the main advantage. So this is one already my colleague Dr. Kopati described this Carvel catheter, which is not available still in India. So main advantage is that the tip profile is less than the Corsair, and the more hydrophilic and trackability through collaterals. Sometimes you're not able to cross with the Corsair. Carvel makes a big difference. That's the main difference of the distal tip profile is 1.9 French. That's the advantage of the Carvel. This is one case we have done, this is a curve in the RCA, and this is a bend, is anchor balloon technique with a Carvel and with a filter XTR wire, we can do this case. So in a tortuous anatomy, a more hydrophilic and a low profile support catheter, Carvel is useful. Next is the Corsair Pro, is also not available with us. But the main advantage is this is the stiffness difference between the shaft and the catheter tip is less. That's why whenever you find difficulty in negotiating the curves, one of the problems in retrograde procedure is you cross with the wire many times, but the Corsair crossing the bends is a real problem. You have to do many maneuvers to do that. One of these is changed to a Corsair Pro. This is because of the stiffness difference between the tip and shaft is less. That's why in tortuous vessels, it improves the ability to cross. That's the advantage. Another advantage is the proximal hub is flexibility is improved, and so it improves the catheter durability, and it protects the shaft when bent during the catheter advancements. That is one more advantage with the Corsair Pro. These are just like, it's mainly available in the Europe. This enhancer catheter is like any other double lumen catheter. It enables for you to have a parallel wire technique and a better wire support, side branch wiring for the retrograde approach, and contrast using through OTW lumen. And this is nothing not different from the other support catheters, double lumen catheters. Sasuke, you see, but more popular is Sasuke in Japan. Is also not available with us. The main difference is that this 145 centimeters catheter, and there is no markers in this. The difference, and there is a tip. You can find a visible tip, but there is no marker. And I think most of the Japanese operators now are comfortable with the Sasuke. I haven't used personally in any of my cases the Sasuke. I have no experience with this. I use usually the Crusade catheter, what is available in India, branch access, and reverse wire technique, very important. You can use, and the parallel wiring also. So You can even measure the strength measuring when performing the bifurcation setting, because the tip to the side second wire launching distance is around 4 millimeters. That's why you can use the strength measuring also you can do. So it has a high trackability, that's the advantage. And a kinking, anti-kinking structure is the proximal shaft. So increase the tip visibility, increase the guide wire manipulation, and it is highly lubricous hydrophilic coating. So it's now, I think we will be getting the Suzuki also in India soon, to my knowledge. This is also same, only thing the Cordis company supplies. There is not much difference in the usage of these catheters. The guy next, Dr. Koshi Matsu already explained that the difference between the guy and the guy next is the extend coil, which protects the coil fracture. The coil fracture is there, the core fracture also will come. That's why this extend coil protect. And the more penetration, more flexibility for the guy next. Yes, still we used a couple of wires, but not much experience in India with the Gaia Next. And the CO3, definitely we have seen many cases since morning, people have shown that makes a big difference in the retrograde approach with the tortuous vessels, with side branches, and when the other wires doesn't work, particularly for the epicardial collaterals, the CO3 works. That's why it's become a favorable wire for most of the Japanese operators. This is one case we have done here with the CO3 gifted by one of the Japanese operators to us. The epicardial collateral from the circumflex. It's a tough case. We failed with the other wires, but the CO could make us successful for the externalization after the reverse cut. So this is another wire, Miracle Neo 3. This wire has got a mix of Miracle along with the Gaia. That's why flexibility, tip flexibility, at the same time tactile sensation. So Miracle has got a tactile feeling when it enters the subintima, and manipulation of the wire just like Gaia. It's a combination of these things. Miracle Neo 3 is also sometimes, it acts like just like Gaia 2. So the guideliner is, as you see many cases now, Dr. Ganesh also told you that nowadays snaring of the wire system is not that much used. Once the guideliner, which works as the mother-child technique and increases the guide support, and it allows the devices and delivery into the distal vessels. So guideliner is another recent, maybe it's not that recent, using couple of months, year, maybe 1 year. And similar products are other companies like Gatian. But the other one is the crossbars that Arun has explained to you. Most of the cases of CTO, 20 to 30%, when you attempt a antegrade dissection ADR, the crossbars causes the CTO in 20-30% of cases. It's like a metal OTW microcatheter with rounded tip to prevent vessel exit, and it can advance to CTO even without a wire also. So if it enters a subintimal space, that makes pathway for the stingray balloon and rest of the procedure. This is already explained by Dr. Arun, so I don't want to waste time. This is one of the few cases we have done with crossbar stingray. This is the first case done in India. That time, yes, we could do it, but there is a hematoma if you notice. Then I have to change over to a retrograde procedure. So whenever we do this, we have to have a good retrograde collaterals, and the operator should know how to do a retrograde procedure. We bailed out this hematoma by doing a retrograde procedure. So next is the excimer laser, and this is already explained by Dr. Keshav. So the laser, some of the cases we have seen the wire cross, but nothing able to cross, even 1 millimeter balloon, and this is one hope, where you need not exchange the wire to a rota wire. That is the advantage here. But as you said, in coronary, still the studies are registries going on, not much experience with this also, but most likely coming months, maybe we may be doing this in the CTOs, where uncrossable lesions. So This is all. And I'm not the person to talk about the plasma wire. The best person is in the crowd, so Dr. Nasu and that's Suchikeni. They have done a lot of studies and they're doing the cases. But I think it is still in the learning phase and it needs a lot of things to do. But it's a very promising technique in hard CTOs for with the radio frequency wire for reconalization. Thank you.